judge in Fort Bend County, and I'm it. It will house the Commissioner's Court, and it will house the County Attorney's Office on a permanent basis moving forward. That is the role that the courthouses traditionally perform in Texas County. 1909, when that old courthouse opened up, there wasn't such a thing as the county court of law judges. And there were no district judges in Fort Bend County. The county judge was it. Well, it's going to be it, the old courthouse when we get it restored too. Another comparison, jury assembly room before. This is the old jury assembly room, the wooden building adjacent to the parking lot behind the Travis building. As you can see, it was pretty stifling in there. The new jury assembly room, I hope it says jury assembly after, seats 700 people. It's designed so it can also house an appellate court. So an appellate court or a panel of federal or state judges need a courtroom in Fort Bend County to hear an appeal. Any case that might come before them, this serves as an appellate court. It can handle a three-judge panel of these. So it's a dual-purpose room. But right now, it handles 700 jurors. And believe it or not, that's, we had 700 in there in panel days. Now we're going to talk about local mobility projects.
Go back.
One. Got it. Thank you. All right. We have 54 total projects in our mobility schedule. 29 of them are county managed. And we can only speak to the county managed program. In the others, the county is providing money, but the project is being managed by others. Of the county managed projects, 12 are complete, 7 are either in construction or will be shortly. We're preparing to sell very quickly in the next 4 to 5 weeks, $65 million, which is the remaining outstanding bond authorization for local mobility projects in Fort Bend County. And that will fully fund the county managed projects as we move forward. Upcoming projects include Bernie Road between Loss and Old Richmond, Mason Road from FM 359 to Skinner Lane, Harlem Road at US 98, Falcon Landing Boulevard from West Island Parkway to Buffalo Wild, Golfview from Farm Market 762 to Williams Way, and Williams Way from Pilgrim to Wheaton in the Justice Center area. We will cut the ribbon next week on the Williams Way segment from US 59 up to Pilgrim. And it's a wonderful boulevard road now, and open for traffic. We're very pleased with that. For any of you that want to find out about any of these projects or keep tabs on, and I know most of the engineers in Crown already do this, www.fortbendmobility.com is our mobility website. You can go directly there, and you can click to the project you're interested in, and you may not get the information you see, but you'll get the information we have on it. So feel free to use that asset. Now, toll roads. In mobility and local roads, we also have a toll road system. We now have 2 toll road authorities in Fort Bend County. We have Fort Bend County Toll Road Authority. We have the Fort Bend County Grand Parkway Toll Road Authority. Same board of directors, but separate responsibilities. Sort of like the Commissioner's Court and the Drainage District Board of Directors. Okay. Does it say the Grand Parkway? All right. We started on the Grand Parkway with construction of segment D. The overall project calls for the construction of 9 toll overpasses from the West Park Toll Road south of US 59. The first 2 overpasses being built, and if you've been on it, you've seen them, they're going up very quickly. West Airport Boulevard and West River Park Drive. We funded those 2 contracts in advance using reserves of the county to fund the contracts so we could get them out, because we had to meet the deadline and actually be under construction under state law by September of last year. We met that deadline with these 2 overpasses. We will very shortly sell $170 million in revenue, combination tax and revenue bonds to support the construction of these 2 plus the other 7 overpasses, which include an overpass at 98 and an overpass at the West Park Toll Road. Once this project is complete, Voters may elect to take the toll overpasses, or they can stay on the feeder street. If they take the overpasses, they dodge the lights. If they stay on the feeder street, they have to stop at the traffic control intersection. So by paying a toll, they can gain time. That's exactly how toll roads works. But the key is, where we have an existing road, Portland County will not toll that existing road. Will always remain free transit. Our toll lanes are new lanes that are built for that purpose, and that's exactly what we're doing here. By the way, the state law that allows us to take primacy on segment D requires that we build this road as a toll road, and it's not an option to the court. All tolls on Portland County toll roads are paid with easy pay. We don't have any toll booths, and that works out very, very well. Next, Fort Bend Parkway extension. Set up? Very good. Highway 6 to Sienna Parkway, Fort Bend Parkway. The extension goes from Highway 6 to Sienna Parkway. It's 2 miles in length. Our engineering is complete on that segment. It will include an underpass on Highway 6. It may be phased depending on when we finish the environmental and the design of the underpass, but we will be built. We completed the final right-of-way acquisition, and that was a project that took years. And financing, as I said, is underway with the West Park Tollway extension. Is that what it says? Good. Now this is a little more complex. You know, the Fort Bend Parkway is our road. It's all built with local funds. It's greenfield construction. There's no road there until we put a road there. We basically can do whatever we can do once we find the right way to complete the design. West Park Tollway is a complex extension of the West Park Toll Road on the right-of-way of 1093, which necessitates the improvement and expansion of 1093, which is a state highway, to allow for us, through the Toll Road Authority, to lay the toll lanes in at some later date. We finally, at one point in time, I think 2 years ago when I talked, we were looking at a pass-through toll project for this. That all fell apart. We have finally reached an agreement with TxDOT. They're going to provide us with $40 million in financing for the flyover that's required at Texas 99, which is the Parkway. We've been in negotiation for quite some time with the Federal Highway Administration, and we finally got them to sign on doing merely an environmental assessment from Grand Parkway out to FM 1463, which is now phase 1 of that project. However, this is what you get when you deal with bureaucracy. From the Grand Parkway to 1463, that's urban. From 1463 out to Fulshire, that's rural. So keep that in mind. I guess if you hit a cow before you get to 1463, you get a city cow. And if you hit it on the other side of 1463, you hit a country cow. But it is important when you're trying to put these deals together, because since from 1463 to Fulshire, we're back in urban and in rural area, we must do a full environmental impact study. And for those of you in the crowd who've been involved in EISs, you know it adds years and millions of dollars to the cost. So that's underway, but that is now phase 2. We're doing it. So let's look at the phases. Does it say phase 1 and phase 2? Phase 1 includes the construction of frontage road from Highway 99 to FM 1463 at a cost of $36 million. Construction of toll road main lanes from Highway 99 to FM 723 at $20 million. Construction of the east to north wire from FM 1093 on Grand Parkway. These are this is the deal as it currently exists, and we're moving forward with that and hope to begin construction in the very near future on that phase of 1463. Phase 2 out of Fulshire, well, let's defer until the federally required environmental impact study is complete. So that's where we stand. Obviously, we're going to build the phases exactly as we did the first portion of West Park. We're going to widen the right-of-way. We're going to put 1093 on both edges of the right-of-way, put the toll road down the middle. It makes sense to continue it that way. It works very well with the existing West Park toll road. But that's where we stand. Why do we have 2 toll road authorities in Fort Bend County? Simple answer. Under the law that allowed us to have primacy, we had to negotiate a memorandum of understanding with TxDOT on how we would proceed. All the parties, and there were several counties involved in that, and TxDOT agreed that all the revenue generated by Grand Parkway expansion would go into servicing the debt for that, whichever segment that generated the revenue. It would pay for the operation and maintenance of that segment, including a long-term replacement fund so that it could be kept modern. And then any other monies that came off, spun off of that segment would be dedicated to the future expansion of other segments wherever they were located. So obviously we have to have a completely separate set of books and a completely separate management system in order to keep those monies separated and isolated. And that's what we're doing. So if we're building it, and people say, well, do you own segment D? No, we don't. We have primacy. Primacy is different. Primacy is we have the right to build the road and pay for it. But the title remains with TxDOT. It will always be a state highway. So it gets complicated. But it's working, and we're underway. Now, National Flood Insurance Program. Okay, this is interesting. Congressman Olson is very well aware of these issues that I'm going to be talking about. The National Flood Insurance Program is up for reauthorization by Congress. It's been up for reauthorization by Congress going on for years. It continues to get pushed down the road by continuing resolution in the same manner as the federal budget and transportation bill, reauthorization act, various other large, financially important and controversial bills. The current continuing resolution has extended the existing National Flood Insurance Program to May 31st of 2012. We have a Senate bill. It's referred to as the Johnson-Shelby bill. It's named for the chairman and the co-chairman of the Banking Committee. The Democrat and the Republican agree on this bill. It does not work for Fort Bend County. We have a House bill, H.R. 1309, passed by the full House as amended. Works for the county, but that does not work for the country. And we continue to interact with members of Congress to attempt to structure a compromise, protecting the county and also protecting and serving the nation. So what are we talking about here? The Johnson-Shelby bill basically states that all levee districts are subject to failure, therefore all levee districts are subject to residual risk. Therefore, any land behind the levee district will be placed in the mandatory flood insurance program, and premiums to be paid will be determined by the FEMA administrator after they think about it. Obviously, that's bad for Fort Bend County because behind our levee systems, flood insurance is optional, and if you do buy it, it's just a nominal premium. We don't know if we let a political appointee determine what the premium would be, just exactly what that premium would end up being, but we do know under Johnson-Shelby it would be mandatory, there would be no option. So that would be a premium levied on top of the millions of dollars in local property taxes that are already being collected from property owners in our levee districts and used to maintain their levee, expand their levee, etc. In recent history, modernize their levee to raise and protect against the new flood record elevation. The argument that we're making to Congress and we consistently making to Congress is that we had to build our levees under 44 CFR 6510. That's chapter, volume 44 of the federal regulation, section 6510 is a segment that determines how a levee must be built in order to be determined to be fully protected by FEMA. We're saying that if you acknowledge that levees built to 6510 are protected and keep them in the optional insurance program,